Okay. Takashi Miike,
Again.
my favorite director, probably. We did his, I think his newest major movie. I know he's done a bunch of, I don't know if it's TV shows. I don't know what it is. I look at the picture of what he's done in the last year or two.
Oh, okay.
It's either porn or a children's show. I can't. Being
Such
Japan,
a weird.
it being Japan, I can't tell. Can't tell what it is.
Tell between a porn and a kid's scene.
I mean, it's Japanese. I don't
That should be a game.
know. Yeah.
Is it the title or just the screenshots?
It's just this bubbly, cutesy shit, but it's got these girls, and I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. But that's not what we watched. We watched a movie from 2019, First Love.
Yeah.
I saw this about right after it came out, and I've had it for a while. I said, oh, okay, well, let's watch this again. My memory of it was kind of fuzzy. So yeah, it's Miike returning to his Yakuza roots.
Yeah.
It's kind of how he started out, was doing the cheap Yakuza movies back in the day. I forget. There's actually a specific Japanese. It's his own genre. These sort of B-movie Yakuza movies in Japan. But
Yeah.
that's kind of how he started out. So yeah, I liked it more the second time, actually. I actually had a lot of fun with it. It starts off a little slow, but once you kind of get into it, there's a good amount of suspense in this movie.
I like the goofiness in this movie.
Yeah.
Where, like, the one dude kept getting shot, and each time he got shot, he turned around. Like, he got shot here in the shoulder, he flipped around and got shot here.
Because he did all the
turn
meth.
around.
Because he had the meth wound.
Yeah, the meth wound. And then especially him, that guy just kept fucking up one right after the other.
Yeah, he was a goofball Yakuza. Well, it starts out, so we've got this kid who's a boxer,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's showing this alleyway. You see this head roll out into the alley.
Yeah.
You see the body without the head kind of standing there. Then you see the eyes blink on the head.
Yeah.
And that was what we learn, is that there's a war with the Chinese mafia. What do you want to call it? The Chinese and the Yakuza are at
I
war.
always heard of triads, but I think that's just a name of a certain gang in China.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
use the term. That's right.
Yeah.
They just said Chinese. They didn't
Yeah.
use the term triads. So there's a war there, and then you've got this boxer, this kid. He's got his own thing going, where he's kicking ass. He's doing really well.
But he doesn't show off. He doesn't like showing off.
Yeah, he's sort of apathetic about
Yeah.
everything. He's like,
I won.
yeah. He's like, why don't you celebrate when you win? He's like,
He's going to go do it again.
But he's beating the shit out of somebody in a fight, and he just falls over.
Yeah.
It didn't even look like he'd been hit. He said later on, oh, it was a lucky punch, but he just looked like he was wailing a dude and fell over.
Could have just, like, hit him, like, in the jugular type thing. Because
Yeah.
I always heard if you hit, like, right there, it could knock him.
Karate chop.
Yeah, that carotid chop.
Karate chop.
Yeah. And knock you right out.
But yeah, he goes to the hospital, and the doctor tells him he's got a brain tumor and he could die anytime. But then we've got the young Yakuza guy, the goofy guy we were talking about. He is friends with this cop.
Mm-hmm.
And this cop sells drugs on the side.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I had this idea. We're going to rob my own people.
Yeah.
I'll get the drugs to you. You'll sell them, and then we'll blame it on the Chinese. That's their...
It makes sense.
It's a good... It seemed like a good plan.
Yeah.
It's just that he's a complete fuck up. They're all fuck ups. It's a really good... How they have it, the way the plot's set up is actually... It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, he sets up this fucking retarded heist. They're... Thank you.
Thanks.
They're in this place they're going to rob is the guy Yasu. Yasu's this. He just holds the drugs while they distribute them.
Yeah.
But he's got Monica with him.
Oh, yeah. The hooker that the dad sold to the Yakuza to pay for her debt.
Right.
And she hallucinates when she's off her heroin. I assume it's heroin.
Oh, meth. They say
Meth.
it's meth. Yeah, it's meth.
Shooting up meth.
Yeah, I don't know, but they did say meth earlier.
Weird. Anyways. Yeah, she starts hallucinating about her. You don't know yet, but it ends up being her dad and Whitey Tighties just walking around,
It's a
running
great
after
scene.
her.
She's in this apartment where they keep the drugs. She's by herself, and she
Yeah.
starts just screaming, running around. And she's banging on the door, yelling this somebody's name.
Yeah.
And then you see the sheets on the floor just slowly rise up. And you just see this fucking old dude in whitey tighties, those glasses just underneath the sheet, just walking toward her. She's losing her shit. Who wouldn't lose their shit if they saw that happen?
But she gets the shit kicked out of her for trying to run away.
Yeah, the
Yazoo's main bitch.
Yeah, she's like, shut up, you noisy whore, and just beats her up. So they keep the drugs here, Yasu and his woman.
Yeah.
But then they send this girl out every night, and she's like bitching about it. She's like, if nobody picks her up, then she's got to stay here all night. It's annoying.
Yeah.
You know, hey, let's do these shots.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah, might as well do it now. Cheers. Oh yeah.
Goes down smoother each time.
Every time, after the 100 times you've done it, a little smoother every time. So this guy and the cop, they set up their plan. So they send the cop. They hire Monica for the night. The cop picks her up.
Mm. Oh, they get two other people in on it to kind of kidnap the chick.
Yeah.
Yazoo's girlfriend is supposed to watch Monica.
Yeah, so the cop is with Monica. They get this Chinese guy to grab his bottom bitch, this crazy bitch. And then our skeezy young Yakuza goes in to rob Yasu. Well, he fucks up robbing him. Immediately drops his taser, gets his mask ripped off. He's like, wait. He's like, oh no, this is just a test.
It's a drill.
Yeah.
It's a drill.
He's like, fuck you. They have a fight, and our Yakuza ends up shooting the guy with the drugs, kills him. And then the guy that Monica is with, our cop, they're walking down the street. She starts to hallucinate, sees her dad, freaks out, runs away. So you got him with his whitey tighties, like she freaks out, runs away. The cop can't catch her.
Yeah.
And then our boxer, he's all depressed about having a brain tumor.
Right, yeah. He found out that he has a brain tumor.
Yeah. He's all moping around Tokyo as you would if you figure out you had a brain tumor. He punches the cop, knocks him out. And he runs off with the girl, takes the cop's badge for whatever reason.
Yeah.
He goes, oh shit, it's a cop. I'll just take his badge with me. They run off together. And then the guy that's supposed to kidnap the bottom bitch
gets murdered.
He's like stripped naked.
Yeah.
No, not the top. Just off
the bottom.
Take off the pants. And she's like, okay. And she fucking digs her hands down.
She fingers herself, I guess.
Yeah, and then she's
it did
like,
look kind of wet.
Yeah, it was wet. She's like, smell it.
Yeah.
He's like, she fucking kicks him in the balls, judo throws him, breaks his neck, and then just stomps him to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was not one to fuck with.
No.
So she ends up being the crazy one of the whole movie. She's on a fucking rampage.
Yeah. She runs back home, finds boyfriend's dead.
Yeah.
And she calls. Is the Yakuza dude at the inn, is that the one-legged man? Or is that the really old guy that was one-legged?
Oh, there was a one-legged guy. No, the one at the end was the guy that got out of prison.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like the returning...
oh, yeah, he came back.
Yeah. So they got this whole thing. So you've got the Yakuza kid stole drugs from his own people. He's got the drugs now. He tells them He's like, oh, Monica must have him. Well, no, he says the Chinese.
Yeah, the Chinese.
But then they go there, and then the woman says it must have been Monica. Somebody blames Monica. Anyway, everybody believes it's Monica or the Chinese. Right?
Oh, yeah, because she calls the Yakuza. And then guy that fucked up answers the phone. He's like, who? Whatever. And then I think she was the one thinking it was him, Monica.
Right.
Because she couldn't get a hold of him.
She blames Monica, but he blames the Chinese.
Yeah.
But basically, everybody's going after it. Then the Chinese, there was another guy in the Yakuza that saw him there,
Yes.
knows he's in it, but this guy wants to steal the drugs from him
Right.
and keep them for himself. So then he jumps him, they have a fight, our fuck up somehow wins the fight, drives over his head with the van.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, crushes his skull with the van.
And what was it? Bottom bitch finally figures out. Was it she was starting to figure out it was him, or was she just getting annoying and he knocks her out?
No, yeah, she finds out it's who it is because
In the car ride.
Yeah, because he fucking remember they're in the car. They tell him to go. The bosses tell him to take her with him for the night.
Yeah.
When she comes back, and then they're in the car, and he fucking unbuckles her seatbelt and just slams. He slams on the brakes like 3 times. It just knocks her out. So then he takes her home, and then her fucking grandma comes out.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on? He's like, what the fuck?
You have a roommate?
Punches grandma, kills her with one punch. And then he rigs this thing to set the building on fire.
And it's awesome. It's like one of those little, like, motorized little puppy dolls.
Yeah.
That he rigs up to some candles.
It's wrapped around, this string is wrapped around incense.
Yes, that's what
so
it
it's
is.
burning. And then once it gets it, the little dog is coated in gasoline.
Yeah.
And it runs into some candles.
And it sets the whole place on fire.
Yeah. But then the crazy bitch wakes up at the last
She's like,
second.
oh, it's hot. And then jumps out the window.
And then she knows what has happened.
Yeah.
So she runs back to the Yakuza and is like, we've all been betrayed.
Yeah.
It was that guy, whatever the fuck his name was. Kisu or whatever.
Keith.
Yeah,
I think it's just Keith.
Keith the Yakuza.
Keith the Yakuza.
So it ends up being, you got the Chinese, the Yakuza, both going after these drugs. They all think that this girl Monica has the drugs, while it's actually this fucking dirtbag Yakuza that has them. But then they hook up with the cop and they catch them because they track the phone. So all 4 of them, the boxer, Monica, cop, and the guy are together.
Yes.
And then they're all being chased by everybody.
Yeah.
And it ends up in this great sort of chaotic scene at the end where they're in this like Home Depot or whatever.
I assume it's a Home Depot. It definitely looks like
the Japanese version of a Home Depot. But yeah, they've got this. It's there are these scenes with the boxer. His name's Leo. So Leo and Monica, they're sort of hanging out, and he's figuring out how fucked up she is. And he's giving all these hints about how he's gonna die, and she's like, "Oh, what's the deal?" And
what's wrong with you?
And I think that's the title is First Love. It's kind of based, it's those two, right? Yeah, but she's a fucked up prostitute slave, and he's a
dying.
He was
boxer.
abandoned as a child, and he just lives to fight. But he thinks he's got a brain tumor.
He needed a white family to adopt him.
He did.
That would be a great
middle class white family.
Yes, to adopt this abandoned Japanese boy.
Then Sylvester Stallone could train him up.
It makes for the best movie.
Yeah.
You gotta throw the punch.
You gotta throw the punch and get out of the way of the other punch.
Dodge.
But yeah, there's a lot of fighting, running around. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I was kind of hoping for it to be a little bit more wacky-ish, I guess. At that point, I got like, I guess I kind of got it for a few seconds. Was like when it turned anime, because that's what I've been like waiting for this whole time. It's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
a weird anime twist type thing that.
well, it was, it was restrained Miike to me, pretty
Yeah.
restrained. I mean, some of the shit he's done in the past is like
Yeah,
fucking a woman just shooting milk out of her titties and the man swimming through it. And, and fucking Yakuza boss sticking ladles up his ass. It's, I mean, all of Gozu.
yeah,
I mean, that whole. So he has a wide breadth of insanity, but it's pretty
tamed down
subdued.
in his older age.
Yeah, he's got the beheading at the beginning, and then there's the whole. I think the dad in the sheet was pure. That was very. That was pure Miike. That was brilliant. I love that. That was
just where it just breathes up.
Creepy rapist dad was the best part. Hallucination and creepy rapist was the best part. Him just following her around, and then
dancing in the subway.
Yeah, they're on the subway, and she's seeing him, and the boxer's like, "Oh, you're hallucinating again." She's like, "Yeah," and he gives her earbud, and they're listening to this music, and he starts dancing in the subway. It's just pretty good. That was pretty good. But yeah, you mentioned the anime thing, so at the end, about everybody dies.
Except for Boxer, Monica, Yakuza.
Random Yakuza guy with the sword, the one that has the sword. We're leaving a lot out. There's a lot that happens in this movie. There's a lot of like little side characters and stuff. The Chinese one-arm guy. There's the
one-arm Wang.
One-arm Wang. There's the Chinese chick with the.
I guess she didn't visit the restaurant that the boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, you're a century egg.
She recognized him from the restaurant.
Yeah.
And but there's a scene where it's just the three of them, and the cops have showed up. They've killed everybody, and they jump in the car, and he tells the boxer to drive, and they start driving. He's like, "It's the only way." Whatever. They hit a whatever ramp or whatever. Oh, it suddenly becomes anime.
Yeah.
Complete anime.
I thought he'd turn like green skin for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just do it. Trust in the Japanese car.
Yeah, he does say that. Trust in Japanese car.
They just drive out, I guess, on top of the middle section of the Home Depot and fly out.
They fly out over the cop cars, land. They do like
they spin around.
Cool slide thing, and it's all animated.
Yeah.
And Tavi made a point. She was like, "Is that just because they didn't have money to do that?" And I'm like, "Maybe."
Definitely, most likely.
Probably,
I do not want to destroy a million cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a weird choice.
Yeah.
For literally like 10 seconds.
Right.
Anime.
Yeah.
And it almost makes me think, okay, if you're going to do that, then do more of the movie like that.
Yeah.
Have some of these fucking fight scenes or rape scenes.
When what's dude got high.
Yeah.
And he's getting shot at a bunch, and he's like, "Oh, I don't feel it."
Anime is made for getting high and shot with a gun.
Oh yeah, when the dude got the meth on his dick or on his pants, she starts like.
She's like scooping up. He's like, "Oh, I'm getting high."
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. That would have been some great anime.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting idea. Maybe they could have used it a little more.
Yeah.
It was kind of out of nowhere for, like I say, about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Ever since Dead Alive, or Dead or Alive? Is that what it was?
Dead Alive is the Peter Jackson movie. Dead or Alive is the Miike movie.
Ever since the Dead or Alive, I always expect something wacky at the end. Is why.
It is. Yeah. It is a little bit out of nowhere, but it's not. It's not to the level of a rocket launcher pulled out of your jacket or whatever. And then you get the longest ending that's not Lord of the Rings. They get away, they live.
Yeah.
She's like going through withdrawals. He's boxing again.
Yeah. He's boxing again. He's trying to get back in the game.
Yeah. And they live happily ever after.
Yeah. That's it.
Let's give scores.
All right. Yeah.
I'll give my score. Seriously, I didn't like this as much the first time I saw it, and then the second time I'm like, it definitely. I feel like the beginning needs to be cut shorter and the ending needs to be cut shorter.
Mm-hmm.
You could shave 10 minutes off of this movie.
Yeah.
But it is a well plotted. There's a lot of suspense.
Mm-hmm.
Like you come to care about these characters that are trapped in this bullshit, and there's enough weird stuff that happens.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go 5. It's a barely a 5, but I'm gonna go 5 on it. I really like this movie.
I'm gonna go 4 for this one. He's got a good story, and to me it's kind of, it felt original. Still, like I've said it before, there's not a lot of movies where it's like original writing or script or ideas. There's like quite a bit of comedy in it that I like, with the shooting, the fighting, and then figuring out shit, and it's very comical to me where dude just keeps fucking up and he just has to keep killing to cover his tracks.
Right, he keeps somehow he keeps getting through it, even when he's fucked up on meth and he keeps getting shot and he still ends up killing some people. He's like, oh. I mean, he doesn't die until he gets his head cut off.
Yeah.
Eventually, that crazy bitch cuts his head off.
Cuts his arm off, or he's like,
yeah,
I think it should hurt.
Yeah, he's standing there looking at his like blood coming out. He's like, man.
Yeah, that kind of stuff I like. It to me kind of felt, with the pain thing, it reminded me a bit of Monty Python type stuff. But,
yeah, right.
But yeah, I enjoyed this one more than Gozu. I still need to watch Gozu though, because I fell asleep. But Brian was like, "You didn't miss anything. You're all right." But no, I liked it for the most part. But I agree with you. Like, parts of it need to be kind of cut out just to save time or whatever. But all in all, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. It was a good movie. I can't. I've already said everything I could say.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, leave some comments.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm doing the Alien documentary.
Oh yeah. Can't wait for that.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. Been holding off. All right.
There it is.